Hello everyone and welcome back to Bright Minds with Anisha. Today we are diving into one of the most important pieces of labor legislation in India, the Indian Factories Act 1948. The Indian Factories Act 1948 plays a critical role in ensuring that factory workers have safe, fair and healthy working conditions. So whether you're a student, employee or a factory owner, understanding the nuances of this act is crucial. So let's get started. The Indian Factories Act 1948 was enacted to regulate the conditions of work in factories. It applies to any manufacturing unit employing 10 or more workers with power and 20 or more workers without power. The main aim of this act is to ensure workers' welfare, safety, and to standardize work hours. Think of it as a protective shield for laborers that prevent exploitation and unsafe practices in industrial setting. Now, let's talk about what qualifies as a factory under this act. A factory is any premises where 10 or more workers are employed and power is used to manufacture or process goods. If no power is used, the minimum requirement is 20 workers. The definition includes premises that alter or repair goods as part of a manufacturing process. Factories range from large-scale industrial plants to small manufacturing units. It's crucial to understand that both types are covered under the same legal framework. This ensures uniformity across the sector. While the Indian Factories Act doesn't fix wages, that's actually handled by the Minimum Wages Act 1948. But the Indian Factories Act mandates the timely payment of wages. Employees are required to pay their workers by the 7th or 10th day of the following month, depending on the size of the factory. In addition, overtime wages are paid at double the normal rate. This means any work beyond the standard 48 hours a week or 9 hours a day qualifies for double the wage rate. This is a key provision that ensures workers are fairly compensated for the extra hours they put in. Who is a workman? Let's now look at who qualifies as a workman under the Act. A workman is anyone engaged in manual, skilled, unskilled, technical, clerical or supervisory roles in a factory, except for those in the managerial or administrative capacities. Supervisory staff earning above a certain wage threshold are also excluded. The idea here is that all non-managerial employees receive the benefits and protection of the Act, including the right to safety and fair wages. Industrial establishment. The Act also defines what constitutes an industrial establishment. This includes factories engaged in manufacturing and also other services such as public utilities like electricity, water supply and transport. It even covers mining units. The goal is to ensure that all industries adhere to safety and employment standards, regardless of the type of goods or services they produce. Employment conditions. Now let's talk about the employment conditions under the Factories Act. Adult workers are allowed to work a maximum of 48 hours a week with a limit of 9 hours per day. If they exceed these limits, then they are entitled to overtime pay, as I mentioned earlier. The Act also mandates a 30-minute break after every 5 hours of continuous work to ensure that workers have adequate rest. Additionally, workers must be given a weekly day off to rest and recover. Employment of young persons. The Factories Act strictly prohibits the employment of children under the age of 14. Adolescents between 15 and 18 years old can only be employed if they are medically certified fit to work in the factory. So this provision ensures that younger workers are not subjected to dangerous or unhealthy working conditions. Health and safety provisions. The Act places great importance on health and safety. Factories are required to maintain proper cleanliness, ensure adequate ventilation, and control temperature for a comfortable working environment. In addition, dangerous machinery must be fenced and personal protective equipments must be provided to workers exposed to hazardous materials. Emergency procedures must also be in place to handle accidents and unforeseen situations, ensuring that workers are protected from industrial hazards. The welfare of workers is another critical focus of the Act. Factories with more than 250 workers must provide a canteen, while those with over 30 women workers must set up a creche for children below 6 years. Additionally, factories with over 500 workers are required to appoint a welfare officer to oversee worker welfare programs. Factory rules for wage payments. The Act also mandates that all factories maintain detailed wage records, including payments, overtime, and deductions. Wages must be paid within the prescribed timeline to avoid delays, and only authorized deductions such as provident fund or fines can be made. To ensure compliance with the Act, inspectors have been given the authority to inspect factory premises at any time. They can examine safety measures, wage records, and welfare facilities and can also investigate accidents. This helps enforce the provisions of the Act effectively. To wrap up, the Indian Factories Act 1948 is a vital law that protects the rights and well-being of factory workers across the country. From ensuring timely payment of wages to providing health and safety measures, the Act aims to create a balanced and safe work environment for all. Understanding this law is essential for both employers and employees in the industrial sector. Thank you for joining me in today's lesson. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Bright Minds with Anisha for more educational content. If you have any questions, drop them in the comment below. I'll be happy to answer. See you next time. Until then, take care and bye-bye.